That looks like we're live.
We are live again, Charlie.
Yes, yes, yes.
Aloha, everybody. Welcome to discussion. We call this the COVID-19 discussion um, with Charlie and Mel. And that's what we have tonight. You guys all know. I know you guys are all signing on. Hang on, I gotta start this watch party here. Hold on here. What the heck did I do? Anyway, Augie T will be coming on. He'll be coming on actually very shortly. He's running a few minutes behind. Here we go. What's going on here? How come I cannot? Charlie, you want to say something until I get this thing going?
Aloha, no, everybody. How's everybody doing? Yeah, as we get this thing set up here. Hey, thank you for those who wrote in today asking me about my shirts. Yes, my beautiful wife puts me in nothing but Manu Heali'i. So giving a shout out to Manu Heali'i. Thank you. Thank you. I mean, we pay full price. It's not a discount, but I love the clothing line. So we like to say thank you so very, very much. If you are watching us here, today's the 15th, right? It's the 15th, and it's a
Yes, right.
Wednesday. It's a Wednesday. So, we like to say aloha to everybody. Got my brother Mel on one end. I'll take care of the other end. And we are so excited for our guests. Mel, you're the one that got him. I mean, your history goes a long way back, right?
Yeah, yeah. We'll share that when he comes on. It's quite hilarious how we met and the connection. I got a lot of people that Mel, how you get these guys? How you get these guys? I have been blessed over the years to have been able to meet these people, in passing or working with them, whether it was in politics or with Pop Warren, whatever the case may be. I've just been blessed, and now is the time where what we trying to do, Charlie and I, what trying to do is, you guys know, you hear this every night. We're just trying to get your voices heard. We try to get your voices heard. We know that there's a lot of people that watch this every night. And there's a lot of people that watch this after the fact, and the views tell us that. And I'm sure that a lot of the people that are watching this are people that are decision makers or subordinates of decision makers. In other words, the governor, somebody's watching for the governor, somebody's watching for the lieutenant governor, somebody's watching for the mayor, somebody's watching for all of these guys. So our focus is trying to get your voices heard, trying to share what we are going through as individuals. We got some tough issues. We talked about last night, unemployment. Uh, everybody's wondering when is the county going to open up? When's the state going to open up? When's the country going to open up? At the end of the day, the country is going to open up when the governor says we're ready. And there's huge debate on when we should open up. We cannot stay closed forever. And you're right. And you've got to rely on the experts. And I think right now, what I'm hearing anyway from a lot of people is many of us don't have the confidence in our leadership, and I think that is what's scaring people. But my daughter is in Oregon. She got her second unemployment check. Not only that, she started collecting that $600 extra a week. In Oregon, they got it together. They this, huh? And the stimulus. I know the stimulus checks are coming out. If you filed electronically and you received a tax return in 18 or 19, if you filed electronically, you're on the first batch. I've been getting a lot of messages from people that have gotten their stimulus check, but I'm talking about the unemployment. I'm talking about the money that you need to survive. And in Oregon, like I said, my daughter actually is on her third check with the added $600. So they're doing it right now. Okay, the Oregon's a lot bigger than Hawaii. The state of Oregon has a lot more people than the state of Hawaii. How can they get it done and we cannot? How come we, after all this time, we haven't been able to get it going? How come we cannot even call someone? I don't get it. I don't get it. And today, the governor, or it was last night, or came out and said, we're going to cut first responders, the police, the fire. We're going to cut school teachers. We're going to cut their salaries by 20% or 10%, whatever depends on which bargaining unit. At a time when people are struggling, you know, understand a lot of us, a lot of people that are on this call right now, um, are not getting a paycheck, any pay. They can't even get their unemployment. So it's frustrating. But to tack on uh, a reduction in pay for our first responders and our teachers, I'm not sure who's advising this guy. Remember, not long ago, right here on Facebook Live with Mel Raposo, we talked about $350 million going to build a new stadium, fast track. I don't know if you remember that. The legislature approved $350 million to go fast track of a construction of a new stadium for Honolulu. Hello, that needs to be cut right now. Right now, that needs to be pulled. All of this fat that has been floating around this state for projects that are not necessary, non-essential, all of those positions that are funded but that are vacant, cut. All of these funds that are set up for projects that we're not going to do, cut. Before you start tapping people's salaries, before you start tapping our essential workers' salaries, you best be cutting all of that fat. And that's what I'm not hearing. I'm not hearing that. I'm not hearing that we're taking money from the stadium fund. So that's the frustration, man. That's the frustration. Remember, many, like, I was working in a hotel. The hotel picked up a big chunk, 90% or 95% of the medical. Many hotels pay 100% of the medical. But when you furlough a government employee, that you pay that. The employee still has to pay their percentage, which is anywhere from 40 or 50% of the premium. I'm talking $600-700, $800 a month. And you take that out of a paycheck that has been reduced by 800 or 700, that's a double hit. That's a $1,500 hit a month that's going to create. So I understand that we got to raise money because we're losing a lot of money because we have no TAT. The hotels are not functioning. Understand. But we got to make do. We got to figure out a way to cut our expenditures and take all of that fat out before you start whacking the first responders and the school teachers. That's just my opinion.
I agree, brother Mel. I agree. Today I was in discussion with some people, and the first thing that we started to talk about is the unemployment debacle that the state is facing right now. And it came to mind that why isn't the unemployment division maybe staffing the call lines or the call center 24 hours a day? Because if you give a specified period of time and you're talking about a very large quantity or large amount of unemployed individuals, you're going to plug up the system. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But if you leave it on 24 hours a day and some people calling 3 in the morning, I think some people are going to be sleeping. At least you get room for try sneak one call in, right? So, that's the kind of thing that I would like to see the state explore right now and get it done fast if it's possible. If it's going to untie that log jam that's occurring right now, that's one.
And I know that there are a lot of workers out there that would volunteer to work an overnight shift to help everybody get through. I know it would. And that's what I don't get. I see absolutely no innovative thinking on how we make this work. I mean, it's been a month?
Yep.
Very close to a month, and we cannot get our unemployment checks out. That's not right. That's not right, and it's frustrating. I see a lot of comments coming on about the rail. Understand that the rail is a county, city and county of Honolulu project. It's not a state project. That funding, although a lot of state funding, state has assisted with the GE tax and so forth. I would agree. At this point, everything that's non-essential, you divert those funds to this COVID effort. I mean, that's just how it works. You these luxuries in life, and some of you may argue that this rail is important. I don't. If you got to compare this issue right now, where you got people that are going to be, if not already, starving, not being able to buy food, versus a project, a $10 billion rail project, I would have to go with the people that cannot pay for food or medicine. I'm sorry, that's just my opinion. But I just want to make it clear, it's not a state project. It's a county. It's a Honolulu County, city and county project. So, and you're right, man. There's been a ton of money I mean, our we 1% of our TT, which is non-existent right now, but that went to the rail. So Honolulu, 0.5% of their GET goes to the rail, and that those are state taxes that the state allowed the counties to charge. It's a surcharge on a state tax. So understand, I gotta believe we got a lot of fat in this state as well as all the counties that's going to have to be removed. And then you deal with what you got. And at some point, if there needs to be some revenue generation or some furloughs, well, I'm sorry to say, that's the truth. I mean, you gotta pay the bills. You gotta keep the lights and water running in government. So, let's simply copy Oregon. Thank you, honey. Don't recreate the wheel. No, that's her name, Charlie. I wasn't being fresh. That's her name. Okay. Wife and look up at me. Who you calling honey? It's just to me, it's just, I cannot believe. And by the way, if you guys are just joining us, I see we got a bunch of you that's just coming on. Augie will be with us in a few minutes. He's running a little late, but he promised that he will make it worth your while. So otherwise you get stuck with me and Charlie, which is can be fun too. I mean, can be fun.
Yeah, so, we can.
We hear that the governor wants to start to consider opening up the state. And we talked about this a little bit last night. We got to make sure that we have our ducks in a row as we start gradually opening up the state. We want to make sure we got this virus contained, but I agree, at some point we got to start opening up. I mean, people got to go back to work and we got to start doing things, but right now, these guys get some funny comments that I sorry, because we missed so many when we're doing this thing, and Patsy's sewing masks. She's usually my note taker. But we got to make sure we contain this virus completely, understanding where it is so that we can prepare. You see, we've been talking about this now for, I guess, a month, Charlie.
Yep.
That if we know where this outbreak is, then, we put our mask, we practice social distancing, we avoid that area. And I can see that there's some reasonable discussions going on about that. But when you don't know where you're at, then it's kind of hard to make those discussions. We talked about it last night.
Well, brother, you know it's what you said before. It's like, if we don't tell you what beach had the shock attack and you want to go in the water, it's a lonely feeling when you're looking around you and you just cannot see what's under you, right? And you don't know when that thing will come up and bite you. And I think that's, you talk about the government opening back up. I want to see everybody get back to work, because right now it's testing their wits psychologically. A lot of people, today was a good testament, driving to go drop off some food in Koloa, and right on the side of the highway, I had to call it in. There was an abuse going on, a couple, and I don't know what it was about, but loud yelling, car stopped in the middle of the highway, very, very dangerous situation. Call it in, and I think I have to attribute that to the troubled times that we're in right now. So we just have to. But the thing that I am worried about, Mel, and I'm going to say it right now, I know they want to get our kids back to school, and I love my grandchildren. I don't want nothing to happen to them. And as a grandfather, and I'm pretty sure all you parents out there can appreciate for your kids, you want to make absolutely sure that it's safe for them to go back to school, because all it takes is one. You remember they made that comment about, we go back to contact tracing, right? Okay, so then we got the cluster over on the Big Island. Now today we read about that possible case that's in the senior village at Westlock. Senior village. Now, at one time, seniors was considered in that high-risk category, right? So here you got this thing that's happening in Honolulu. I said, at least you let them know where it's at. So now, if anybody was in the area visiting, maybe you should ask yourself, are you possibly carrying the virus? Just to be safe.
That's community spread. That's
Yep.
community spread. And that's the danger of this thing. You open up too fast, you take a chance of getting spikes.
Right.
The other thing that I do not believe that we should even be thinking about right now is opening up the hotels to bring more tourists in. That until this
Yes.
country is done with this virus, why
Well,
in the hell, Augie's knocking at the door, why in the hell would you keep everybody locked down for however long it's been, only to open them up for the tourists? See,
well,
that cannot happen.
let me say real fast before you let our guests in. Look at Utah. Friday, ladies and gentlemen, they'll be implementing a program. Anyone entering the state from either side of the highway into Utah will have to apply online and will have to get tested and prove they're negative for the COVID virus before coming in.
I heard virus, so I'm making sure that I'm protected.
Augie T, hey, how far away are you from that microphone, buddy? 6 feet, baby. 6 feet.
How we looking? We good? Do I need to?
Oh, we good. We saw it. Can you hear us?
Perfect. I can hear you guys. I see you guys already goes in with the action, and I heard virus, so I automatically get my mask.
I told everybody that tonight we're gonna relax. We're gonna have Augie. We're gonna laugh. We're gonna have some fun. We get 221 people live right now.
That's awesome.
And it's gonna grow. And me and Charlie already say blood pressure up because we're talking about the damn state. Jesus Christ.
Augie, let's get this story straight. I'm happy. I don't know about Mel. I think I'll get blood pressure problem tonight.
My doctor, if any of you know Dr. King tells me, Mel, I don't know how you know more high blood pressure. I get him. My wife get him.
I have, the thing is like, I don't know why, like, I don't know, man. I think, I'm more gray hair. I just started growing them like in the front, but like I get high blood pressure, but like, I feel like every day, I'm like I feel like I'm 100% positive all the time. I'm only going to be the one, the only time you hear me like spilling on my guts is when like, when I'm alone or I'm talking to people personally. But other than that, I'm like, woo. And then yet I go doctor, my doctor's like, oh, how come you're not getting enough rest? I'm like, wait a minute. I thought I was doing everything correct. And yet, the blood pressure is there. I got to go, Universal Men's Health Clinic. No, I'm not going.
I know. Why are you laughing? He's serious.
But you see how I automatically go straight to when I said Universal Men's Health Clinic. I went because I am so, like, when I hear, like, you
hey, Augie,
yes.
let me stop you right there. When I see the commercial, and a guy pointing one gun, I said, forget about the clinic. For stimulate me. I don't need one gun for stimulate me.
Okay, do they actually use that gun on your privates?
No. I take a shot every Thursday, and then I the reason why we lose our teeth.
Charlie, hang on. I'm gonna knock Charlie out of this thing because
because when I talk about this on like radio, like automatically we start thinking, oh, it's because of stuff, no more power anymore. It's not that. The same energy, we lose so much energy. And I think part of the reason like I overexert myself, and that's the reason I get the high blood pressure. So by taking this, builds up my T level, and then I can fully function correctly. I can lose the weight I need to lose. The metabolism for me, works a little bit better. And then, maybe, I'm at that point where my wife kind of look at me and she go, I don't like you anymore.
Are you being paid by the Universal Men's Clinic to say all these things? Or
no, of course not.
I gotta make that disclaimer because get my their competitor may be watching right now. I don't know who even have one. I didn't think Filipinos had that problem.
Well, there's a big side of me that's Portuguese.
They don't have that problem either.
Okay, then something went wrong in the gene. Something went.
Hey, Augie. People was asking how you know Augie, and remember years ago, WWE. you're not one closet fan, right? You're
No.
not shamed, right, for?
I am not. I don't know why we even feel like we need to like say we closet W. I'm like a huge fan since I was like a little boy. My grandma, my grandpa. If you go back and you look at old videos of 50th State Wrestling, you'll see my Howley grandfather and my Portuguese grandmother right in the front row with my handicapped auntie, just sticking finger to all the bad wrestlers.
Yeah.
And I look back and I go, that's my grandma and grandpa. But then, you know, for me, I've always been intrigued by it. So, you know,
Well, you know, one of my pet peeves, and Charlie will tell you this, a lot of my close friends will tell you this, is that I cannot stand when people try to tell me that it's fake. That just pisses me off. Like, you know, everybody make fun.
Yeah.
Because as you know, Augie, as you know, I am a huge fan.
Oh, huge.
I am a huge fan. The same
Yeah.
way, my grandma, my grandpa was the president of the Wailua Canoe Club, and Naminia Canoe Club. Sammy Steamboat Mokuahi was the president of Huinalu.
Okay.
The wrestlers would come. My family would have to go pick them up and take them to the Kapa High School gym where they would wrestle and take them back to Hamura Simon first and then take them to the airport. I was brought up with this thing, so I know it's real. And then people laugh at me and then they complain about the Super Bowl. I was fake. The referees, they cheat. Excuse me, you telling me wrestling is fake? And now you mad because your team never win? At least in wrestling, it's not fixed. We don't know who's going to win until pow. And
you know, it takes skill. It takes skill. So, you know, I don't know if you guys saw online, but I did it.
Look, somebody telling it's fake. Bernie Tangalin, it's fake. See, how you block people from this thing?
Okay, I tell you what. If you go on my YouTube page, I decided I was going to wrestle. And I put down one of the stupidest things I ever did in my life. Only because, I mean, you got to be able to fall one certain way. You know, of course it takes skill, but you feel that for the next couple of days. And these guys are doing it nightly. They're getting hit. They're hitting each other, you know. But it takes a skill.
You know, that's kind of how we, you know, Augie and I, Blaisdell Center, and I don't know if you must remember this, but you had your bodyguard or whatever that big brother is, and you had, I guess, your agent anyway, but we were invited to go tag team wrestle for the championships, and Augie couldn't because his agent said no.
Right.
So I went, and you know, this is what happened.
Look at that. See that?
That's it, bro. That's real. That's the United States Championship.
Woo!
That's the United States Championship. Because Augie couldn't. We would have had the tag team champion. We would have been the tag team champions till today, Augie.
There you go.
No one would have beaten us, but you couldn't. Anyway, after the match, that I looked real happy with the belt and all of that. But right after that, this is what I look like.
Notice.
You remember that, Augie?
Yes. And notice how, you know, nothing. You know,
that's what happened. So do not tell me that it's fake.
That's right.
I get mad.
That was from a power driver. That was like,
you know, and I remember that. You saw.
I did. Somebody power drive me on chairs. at the water park. All my family on the west side, on the Waianae area, they wanted to jump in the ring and lick the guy. Was, you know, and you know, what made it even more awesome. A couple of days before that, I cut like just above my head. So when the guy power drive me, I had blood. And this was at the water park, and guys lost their mind. So it's not fake because you get hit and you gotta know how to like really like ride those punches, because you're gonna ride the punches. Whoo!
Yeah, so what happened? You anything like that? Yeah, but hey, thanks for that. Oh, that was so much fun. I mean, we really had a good time, and you know, we go every year when you get to the Blaisdell, and we continue to go, and it's just it's.
And you know, fun. Now you called it. Drew McIntyre did win, and but you know, did you read the wrestling news? How, you know, Brock was like on his end of his contract, and he, you know, him and McMahon got into it right after that. So that means he's coming back.
Anyway, all right, let's get it, because I knew we lost about 1,200 viewers with the wrestling discussion. So let's bring it back home, man. Let's bring it back home. How's life on Oahu, Augie? How's life on Oahu with this COVID? I know you guys are doing a lot of stuff up there.
Yeah.
You and I. Share with us, man. I'm gonna put the camera on you and share with us what you guys are doing and what is it like living on Oahu right now?
Right now, from what I'm seeing, okay, so a lot is happening. We see this in the news every day. We know that we are slowly bending the curve, as they say, right? It's a new verbiage that we're learning, right? We bending the curve, and I honestly can say, like, people are really practicing social distancing over here. It's hard, the island have so much people, but you seeing people really doing what they're supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm seeing the true spirit of aloha when I'm picking up mask every day to drop off, to the nurses union. Lanai is calling up saying how people are donating money so that we can, provide meals for the kupuna with the share aloha, show aloha challenge. So I'm seeing a lot of great things, and like I said today in one of my posts, over 200,000 people trying to file unemployment right now. So what do we do? How do we bring back the economy? I got some pretty interesting comments. I gotta go look at them, but like, you see, people are very passionate about, wanting to get back to work, but people are really hesitant too. So, I'm optimistic, man. Like how we said in the earlier, me and you, when we did our chat a couple weeks ago, I think people are really learning from this situation, and I'm hopeful and I'm optimistic, and we can really do a reset. Mel, we seen what happened. I mean, people lost their mind when the governor said 20%. They were then, what? 20%? But no. Hey, you and I'm a kind of guy that looks, okay, maybe good time now to look at where all the wasteful spending at. Let's go look at the wasteful spending right now. Instead of like hurting people, let's go look where the wasteful spending at, and let's go attack that.
That's right before you came in. That's what we were talking about. $350 million for one stadium. Hello? No. All those funds, I don't even get into rail. We talked about it as a city and county project, but a lot of state funds go that way. There's a lot of fat in every level of government. I ain't picking on the state or the counties. It's every level of government. That's how they operate. That's how they budget. And that's where you need to look first. You hit it right on the head, bro. Go get rid of that first before you start affecting people's lives. 20%. Oh, 20%. I mean, the reason I chuckle is because I cannot fathom anyone even thinking of that right now.
Right.
And on top of that, it's 20%. And the other group, the other demographic, the people that are not working because they got laid off or their business shut down, never get their unemployment. Never even get their unemployment. So tough times, reset, I think is a good way to put it, man. It's a reset.
Hey, Augie.
Yeah.
Augie, let me ask you.
Okay.
I know you're running for office, right? Running for office. And how did that come about? One day you just said, enough is enough. I'm gonna throw my head in the ring because I see you get a lot of supporters, which is good.
That's a great question. I've always been interested, and I was telling Mel, we talked a couple of weeks, and thank you for asking that question, because I think I gotta continue to drill the reason why. Am I excited now at 51 to do it? Absolutely. My kids are grown and they too now have, thick skin. My children have been bullied because dad is an entertainer, and people automatically, without, they assume that we have money. They assume that that they get things handed to them, and my children had to work just as hard, because I told them that's what's going to happen, and so, as they got older and as I started getting, I said, Papa, can you go and talk about, your challenges growing up being dyslexic? your challenges growing up in the housing, how you were bullied, share your bullying story. And, as a comic, my job is to look at the world and find the stupidity. I wasn't ready to take on, because I know I have a heart for people, but I wasn't ready to put myself out there, because I know that if I go and talk about and try to inspire kids, I gotta have to tell a true story. And one of the things that I've learned in the 28 years of being on stage is when you're on stage, people can smell a liar. When you watch somebody, you go, I don't know. And like I said, when I say that I've been blessed for 28 years, I truly mean that, because not a lot of people in our business get to say that and continue to put ocoles in the seats, to share your craft. So I never liked being Frank De Lima. I love Frank to death, but I never liked being Frank De Lima and go to schools and,
Mm-hmm.
and I understood why he did it. I just never felt like doing that at that time. And then as I started doing it more and more, man, I realized my situation growing up is wasn't as bad as the situations I see now. And I go, how can people be struggling in this day and age where things are so accessible? We're talking about this right now, how we have to go work and we have to go do this and we have to go do that. And I was like, how can this be? How can people not afford lunch? How can, that much people making ends meet? And I felt like, man, I was living in this bubble. I think, when you're working and you're entertaining and you're trying to survive and you're trying to support your family, you do live in that bubble. And when I started going out and talking to schools and I started doing more and started getting involved in my daughter's foundation, I started really getting empathetic, and it was getting hard for me to write comedy, because now I see the problem as like how I can help, instead of going, that's stupid, let me go talk about it. So it's getting hard for me to write comedy. And then 4 years ago, I met Billy Kinoy on the Big Island. He saw that there was a problem with bullying on the Big Island, but he also had to find a way to bring the program to Hawaii Island using recycling. And so he asked me, hey, you think your daughter's program can do this? And I said, yeah, we can figure out something. So we took a nonprofit that wasn't really doing much. And this is where, like, I believe if we look at government waste and we find people that really be effective, right? So we took a nonprofit that wasn't really affected, and he used the resources and used my daughter's program, and we reached almost 50,000 students in the year and a half that I was on the Big Island. And when I was there, I saw a guy who was attacked in many ways. I saw a guy who had a heart for the people and wanted to serve. And like I said, I've always had interest, but not until I went to the Big Island and I saw how this guy ran his department on the Big Island. And I saw the way and the passion of wanting to really help people. And then when I was asked to go to the Lieutenant Governor's office, that's when the fire started lighting. And as I started doing more and more of my daughter's program, so it all happened that way. It wasn't like I just wanted to throw my hat in the ring. I just felt like those years having some knowledge, having some knowledge of government was going to be helpful. And so, the last 3 years is really what pushed me, working in Shan's office, doing work with Billy Kinoy's office, and then my daughter really encouraging me to, because she heard me talk to teachers one day about stepping outside the box and being, I don't know if you guys heard about the flea in the bottle. Can I share with you guys the flea in the bottle? And the thousands of people that's watching this right now, Mel. And I did this.
You know what? Hey, I gotta say that we had a little issue. I noticed a lot of people it was freezing up.
Okay.
So about 80% of what you just said they never hear, but that's okay. Let's start all over. Let's hear about the flea in the bottle, my friend.
Yeah, let's hear about the flea in the bottle.
Oh man, you know it's awesome. I like this story because I think it's so much like Hawaii. So when you put a flea in the bottle, the flea will attempt to jump outside of his whole purpose is to get outside of the bottle. So you put a cap on the bottle. What happens is this flea will try, no matter what, try. But every time he jumps, he hits his head on a cap. The flea figure out, oh man, I don't like to hit my head on a cap. So he jumps enough in the bottle, right? To the point where like he goes, I'm not gonna hit my head in the bottle. I'm not gonna hit my head on a cap. And what happens is you can take off the cap, and what happens is the flea, because he's so comfortable at jumping already in the bottle without hitting his head in the cap, he forget there's an outside world. And he just continues to jump because he's afraid of hitting his head on the cover. I think we as people are so much like that. And I share this with students, I share this with teachers, and I share this when I do motivation speaking. We have become so complacent. We always talk about thinking outside the box or doing things outside the box, right? But I think a lot of us are like fleas. We forget that maybe once in a while we gotta hit our head on the box. We gotta hit it, yeah. Or we gotta jump out. We gotta continue. Even if sore, we gotta try to get out. And when we get comfortable is when we forget there's an outside world. So my daughter was like, why don't you try? Why don't you run for public office? You know, why don't you step outside your comfort zone? Why don't you go hit your head on the cover? So, you know, for me, the experience have been amazing. You know, I lost my job because I'm running for office. I've never been criticized more in my life because I just decided that I was gonna step outside the box and run for office. So has it been an amazing experience this last year? Amazing. Have it been disappointing? Absolutely. So I was talking to Billy last night, and you know this, Mel. Man, there's a battle inside. They go, why am I doing this? Why? How come? You know, and only you and a few people can ever answer that question. Yeah.
Yeah, the answer to that question is I don't know. Yeah, but you're getting me all pumped up, man. You're making me like run again, but you know what I mean? Hey, whoa, easy cowboy, easy cowboy.
I think, you know, I think everybody should want to have the heart to serve, you know, and when I say serve, like vote, when have we lost the excitement? I mean, I can almost guarantee that all of us watched our parents at the school cafeteria going behind the red, white, and blue curtain. And when we were little, we're like, I couldn't wait to do that. I couldn't wait to see what they're doing. We've lost that excitement. When only 33% of the state vote, man, they're telling me that we don't really care. We're not really excited about people running for office. So, you know.
Oh, but I tell you something, okay? If you tell everybody you show up for vote, and as you leave, you get on free a pack of toilet paper. You watch how many people gonna vote. You watch how many people gonna vote.
I surprised none of these politicians that think about that yet. You know, pass out those cards and put them all over, litter your house. But why not leave them pack of leave something that somebody can use?
Yeah,
you know?
It's not bribery.
Okay, that's a hint. A hint.
Bribery. Not bribery. You know.
Not for a roll of toilet paper. It's a necessity, boy. Son of a gun. Yeah, you know, Augie, you shared a very personal story with me a week or so, 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, about what happened, you know, with your job and then you had to go work. And I mean, can you share that real quick? Because
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to put you on the spot. See, we
No.
don't ever prep our guests. We don't ever prep our guests. You know, I told Augie we wanted to do something light, make people laugh. We're keeping the politics out of it. Of course, Charlie just said throw that out the door by asking you about the politics question. But I'm glad because there's a lot of people on Oahu right now. What district you running, by the way?
District 9. That's Eva Beach, Village Park, Kunia, parts of Mililani, Waipahu. 150,000 residents, 38,000 homes. So you know, up until the coronavirus, I was doing 60 to 20 hours a week, knocking on doors and being super proactive because
How
I
many hours a week? What was that? How many?
15 to almost 20 hours weekly.
Oh, 20. Okay. I thought you
Yeah.
said 60 to 20 hours a week.
Yeah.
My wife heard that too.
No, no, no. We just testing, making sure you're hearing us.
Yeah.
I am listening, boy. I tell you. I lived in Waipahu 1 year, Augie. That was all I could take from that place. If you white, you don't belong in Waipahu, but they beat you up every single day, steal your lunch money. I was in intermediate school. No good, no good. But tell us that story that you told me, because I tell you, it says a lot about you. It says a lot of stuff that people don't understand. Go ahead if you can.
But we talked about it. Like after that happened to me, I was like, now I know why a lot of people don't want to run for office. Because it takes money, right? And I thought I had this amazing wheel going. I was doing a 4-hour radio show. Ratings are okay. It's been part of my life for almost 20 years, waking up, doing radio every morning. And then the day I make my announcement, they send me a paper and they go, hey, can you meet me in the office? And I thought I was going in for get on raise. I was like, here it comes. And I never ever gotten fired from anything, or I never gotten let go, because I never get fired. They said that we are moving in a different direction. New company came in, said we are moving in a different direction and we have to let you go. And I was like, holy smoke, because 5 hours before that I couldn't sleep because it was the same day I was gonna make my announcement to run for city council. I wrote letters to my wife. I wrote letter to a couple of people, and I just talked about how grateful I am because the wheel was spinning nicely. I just had an amazing week of church because I was asked to do comedy for church, and it was just, I thought like, wow, things are moving nicely. And then just 30 minutes before making an announcement, I get let go out of a job that I've done for almost 20 years. And I had to go, I had to walk to Honolulu Hale, TV cameras there, look into the camera and, try to smile and try to be as passionate and real as possible, not knowing that minutes later, I go turn around, look at my family and my wife and tell her that, oh, by the way, I lost my job. Man, it was like the most craziest day in my life because automatically I started thinking, how am I going to make up that money? I cannot go back do radio. I cannot go back do anything supposedly entertainment because I already had said that, I'm going to fully engage in this campaign and work hard. But man, you talk about one wrench being thrown in the machine, and automatically I started thinking, what I gonna do? I gotta go back and do what I know, feed my family, and that's going back to do comedy. So I called my agent, I signed a deal to do shows on the mainland. I get signed for do mainland and coronavirus.
Oh boy.
Oh, you lose all your gigs. Lose all your gigs. You gotta somehow campaign, and so I told Mel, hey, I started calling, started doing security work in the middle of the night. During the day, my daughter, my family, we're delivering groceries to people in my community. When more than anything, man, I'm learning so much about me as a person. You know what I mean? Like, why all of these crazy things are happening. What is the lesson being learned? So it's more than a reset, in society. For me, it's an automatic reset that I shouldn't ever take life for granted, right? And you should always definitely work hard because you don't know when that day gonna come. For many people, loss of life. For many people, one virus. For some of us, you know, we lose income in a blink because people moving on to a different direction. And I told Mel this, you know, when your heart, everybody always talk about when one door closed and another one open. We hear that cliche a lot. I think it does, but your heart gotta be in the right place. If not, you panic. You know, and I think 10 years ago I would have panicked, you know, but now being 51, little bit level-headed, you know, my wife would look at me and say, well, you know, we just got to tighten the belt and we'll all work in the home. And, you know, it would have been okay if the virus never hit. I would have easy balanced it out with, you know, doing some comedy, but it is what it is. Maybe it was meant to happen. Maybe, you know, so that I can really focus on issues, talking, hanging out with my family. Because up until that, man, all I did was work. So, you know, doing the delivery of groceries now is really, and I, you know, I got to spend time with my wife, my daughter. We shopping, but we earning an income together. And then I get to wear my shirt, guys, and go deliver in my community. Now,
I still waiting for mine. Look, I'm using my
I got
Roman
your
Reigns
shirt.
shirt.
Sorry, so yeah.
Huh? Okay.
Oh man, look at that. So that's why I get my, you know, I get my mask, you know, I get my gloves, and I delivering food in my community, and people kind of like, wow, you know, and I work in overnights, you know, you got to do whatever you got to do. And I think it's really teaching me, honestly.
You know, Augie, let me ask you: were you ever working in a like a hospital, and you
Yeah.
go from floors to which hospital was that? Straub.
Kapiolani Medical.
Kap-
So
You
I
know,
started there as a food service worker. By the time I left, I ran the mailroom department for Kapiolani Medical, Palimomi, and Straub. So the nurses, I
Yeah.
used to be the guy that went around with my card and said, "Hey, I tell you a joke." So yeah, that's how
yeah.
it all started for me. I used to work my routine as I went on floors to deliver mail.
And this was back in what in the 90s, right?
Yeah,
You did that.
I
Well,
started.
I want to take this opportunity, and
Okay.
I know you don't remember me, but I was married before, and my late wife was fighting cancer,
Oh wow.
and used to come by, and every time, you know, by the elevators had
Yeah.
those like little benches, and I would sit by the elevator, and you used to always cheer me up. And I told you the story about, you know, my wife has an uphill battle, and that was when before we moved her into the ICU.
Oh man.
But I never forgot that. So I just wanted to tell you thank you. I
Oh,
wanted, you know, you did a lot for me because I
oh.
was in the police department at the time,
Okay.
and you know, it's very easy to say that when you face something real tough, you can either quit or
Yeah.
you got to keep on fighting. But through your comedy and through your humor, you took a really good spin for me. And then I just wanted to tell you thank you. That's why I had to ask you again.
You know, I
That was
appreciate
you.
that. I appreciate that. And you know, I was telling Mel, you know, the last week before the coronavirus hit, I was going door to door, and this big howling guy came out, and they told me, you know, one of the hardest districts gonna be Mililani, and I was like, what? If you're a political person, that's what you're gonna think because you think, oh yeah, Howley and Japanese people live up Mililani and they cannot relate to me. I'm like, you guys get your head out of your cole. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I'm so people are so receptive up in Mililani, but a guy a week before came to the door, came out, big guy. I thought he was going to third degree me, and you know, he looked at me and said, "I'm gonna vote for you because your credibility is on the line." And I went,
Yeah.
"Wow!" It told me that I did something correct or I did something right. You know, there's so many stories like that, and you know, I I'm humbled by your story and so many others that you know I like to share. You know, when I'm getting criticized or when people you know say, "Hey, you're just a comic. Who are you?" You know what I mean? And I look and I hear stories like yours, and I go, that's part of the reason why I'm gonna run, is because there's a side of me that's very human, and there's a side of me that goes 28 years you made people laugh. And you shouldn't stop wanting to make people laugh. But like, you can use your celebrity to just walk around, maybe once in a while pop up and people go, hey, that's the guy who used to be funny. Or you can use your celebrity the right way. And I'm not the kind of guy that, shows up to the Nahoko Hano Hano Award because I like people remember me. You know what I mean? I don't walk around with my name on my, sorry, tonight I am. With, hey, look at me. But like,
Oh
it,
my God, Augie. That was,
but you know what I mean? Like, I don't try to look for attention. It's like when I worked in Billy's office and when I work at, because I have a day job, people go, oh, must be good fun working with Augie. I know when for be funny and I know when time for work. You know what I mean? And so when I hear people say, he's a comic, they really don't know me. So it's platforms like this and your story, that's helping me tell my story, because I don't think you should stop. For me, man, I like, why should I stop entertaining the world and serve at the same time? Why is that so bad? Mel Raposo?
is not bad. I mean, the fact that you're a comic has absolutely nothing to do with what you do for the community.
Yeah.
That's just the way I look at it.
Funny how you can see how people think that.
You know what? As you're gonna learn, you was talking about the criticism, and that's all practice because once you're sitting in that seat, pal, it's every day of your life you're gonna be criticized, and not because your joke wasn't funny. It's because you voted for something that never benefit them or it hurt them.
Right.
And it's just real life. I mean, it's tough, but I wanted to, and I'm glad you told your story because when you told it to me a couple weeks ago, I can relate. There were times in my life, if not for my wife, who knows, to be there and, hey, we're gonna get through this. No worry, we're gonna get through this. Yeah. And and a lot of people didn't know till today. A lot of people didn't know that for the last, I don't know, 9 years, only up until December, I was working nighttime at the hotel, night audit, 5 nights a week. Not because, and I'm not saying this to ask for pity or sympathy. I'm just saying that you got to do what you got to do to pay the bills.
Yeah.
You got to do what you got to do. And I don't care if you picking up rubbish. I don't care if you cleaning one kitchen. I don't care if you secure. It doesn't matter. Yeah, you do what you got to do to make ends meet. Now, that is preparing you for your term as a council member because you're going to be making decisions, especially, I mean, on Oahu, you're in big city now. It's not, you represent a district, but you're going to be making decisions on taxes, on fees that can cripple families. Mm-hmm. And what I've found over the years working in politics, working as a council member, working with the legislature, working with Congress, I think the overwhelming amount of elected officials have never had to go out and work security 10 to 6. They've never had to. They've always had jobs or they've always worked where they didn't have to worry about where the next meal was coming from. So when they talk about raising taxes or they talk about raising fees, and when they break it down per person, it's only $20, it's only $30 more. They're not thinking about the time because they probably never experienced it. See, you did. You had to get off your colleague, go find a job and stay away from your family. But for a lot of them, they haven't. So that if you don't want $20, it may as well be $1 million.
Yeah.
But people don't understand that. And that was the most frustrating thing, is trying to get that point across to people that don't know what it's like to struggle. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, all the people in Congress making, close to $200,000 a year, so $20 is nothing. But tell that to our local family that say, family of 5, 3-bedroom house, 1 bathroom, 1,800 square feet, 700 square feet house. And they got to make that $24,000 a year that their household makes.
Right.
Yeah. You go tell them that the gas tax is only going to be another $50 a year.
Oh, the best one. No, the best one. And like, why am I working? Why am I working in the middle of the night and delivering groceries and doing what? So you get the maximum on your unemployment, right? Making decent amount of money to work 4 hours every day, making people smile. And then I went to another job teaching financial education. Uh, Unemployment, right, pays you the set limit. The most you can get is 643. 643 unemployment, right? You get it every 2 weeks. Mind you, I lost a job that was paying me close to 70,000 and gone. And then, my other job, it's a decent pay, but it's not, where I can pay for my kid, go school, pay for my bills. So because I was making more weekly gross, I couldn't even qualify for unemployment. So when I hear about 200,000 people not getting them, man, you know, there's a lot of people that are going to be doing some really shady things in the next couple of weeks because they're going to get desperate. Not a lot of them, but a handful of them going because, man, when you're not seeing, I told the unemployment guy, I was like, how people in Hawaii are supposed to survive with $2,000?
Exactly.
Oh.
So for those of you out there that don't know what it's like, my PayPal address is melraposo@gmail.com. For the next 2 weeks or 3 weeks, send me all your income. Send them all. And pretend you're waiting for your unemployment check, but just send them to me. I'll make sure it goes to good use. But then you get to taste it. That's I think the frustration, Augie. And
Yeah.
you got a beautiful daughter. Your daughter is amazing. Your daughter is like, I have a daughter that wrote a book when she was 13 years old. And this is her book right here.
Oh, that's awesome. You got to send me that.
Yeah, for $9, I'll send it to you.
Okay.
But basically what it says inspiration, motivation, and change. Your daughter would love this. I'll get you one, Augie.
Yeah. Awesome.
And it's this is it, man. It's just cool. I don't know if you guys can see this. This is little
that's
quote
awesome.
he wrote as a 13-year-old struggling in school. I mean, struggling in life at girls at 13 and 12 and so forth. But it's things like whether you live your life or not, it's still yours. It is the only thing you have full control over. Take advantage of the control you have and change what needs to be changed. Now, 13 years old, not copy and paste. She wrote this She wrote this thing and actually printed this book. And the county anti-drug coordinator was using them for their client.
That is awesome.
My point is this, Augie. Your daughter has, I always say sometimes the teacher becomes the student. Yeah. And you listen to your motivation, I've seen your daughter on TV. I've heard her. I've seen her videos, and she's such a motivational person. Like my daughter's the same way. We can learn from them. You pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and keep on moving.
Yeah.
And that is why, Augie. That's why I said, I've never, ever, ever, ever endorsed a candidate in my life. Never did. Never. I just don't do it.
Right.
But I told Augie, and this was not planned, Augie. I wasn't even going to do this, but I'm going to do it just because you inspire me. But I want to see you get elected. There's a lot of people on this call right now that's in Honolulu. A lot of people on Kauai that has family in Honolulu. And since Charlie had opened the political door, I'm gonna go right through that political door. And I did. I sent Augie a written testimonial or an endorsement because I think to be effective for the people now, you can be an effective politician and not help one soul, but get reelected every term because you play with the big boys. Yeah, you play with the money guys, so they're gonna get you reelected. But when I find somebody that is community-minded, community-oriented, like what you've done, you see, you do a lot of stuff that has never been, you get a lot of publicity here and there, but you do so much more for the community. That is what I want to see. I wish you were running here on Kauai, because I would definitely not move back to Waipahu. But so bottom line is this, man. I mean, I hope you get in, Augie. I think your heart, that little hiccup that you hit with your jobs and getting terminated, wherever heck they let you go, I guess, and then having to go find work at night away from your family. That's gonna help you make the right decisions for the
I,
people
I,
of Hawaii.
I hope so. I hope so. My heart is in the right place, and I continue to check myself daily. And you know how you check yourself? Just ask your wife. Just ask your wife. That's it, man. And so I live with girls, and so you guys know that's challenging already. I get my mom in that room. I get my daughter and my wife upstairs, and I'm constantly being interrogated. I was like, almost sometimes feel like, I wish I can go back work again in the morning. Wake up in the morning. Woo, man, you get the third degree, and and especially now with this quarantine, right? We are that's it every morning. It's
Well,
coffee time.
Augie, I tell you, I had to go find one job to, and stay at home, work from home.
Mm-hmm.
So I found this job working from home. I actually I do tests for this company that makes earplugs,
Oh,
and the thing works good because when you isolate it with your wife, the earplugs come in handy. I
love it.
Oh, my wife
No.
could kill me now. She's still watching right now.
Charlie, wait till this is Paul before you say stuff like that. I need you for tomorrow night too. You know what I mean? I think okay, Augie, when we're done, man, go check your comments. There's a lot of people on here
Yeah.
that are saying some nice things. They,
I don't know. So how do I? So Mel has introduced me to Zoom. So I gotta go look on Facebook.
No,
Yeah,
go onto his face, his page. Go onto his page and just look because it's being shared right now. Just look at this recording and you'll see all the comments under it. So just go to his face page.
Oh,
and
nice.
then
Facebook page.
I should have told you earlier. You could have shared it while you were live and then but hey, sorry.
Yeah, we'll do it again. It looks like I'm a techie guy and I understand, but like this is all new to me right now. You should have seen the first time me and Mel went on Instagram Live. That was like a laugh and a half because I was trying to get Lanai on it, and I thought I got him. Like, hey, there we get him, and man, we would look like two Portuguese guys just confused.
I don't really do Instagram, and Patsy does Instagram, and she's telling me that she's on. She goes, they just hit that button, but I never had that damn button. If you had the button, I would have touched the button. Never have them. And I was like, just hit and ask whatever. And I said, Augie, it's like on the phone. Augie, this damn thing, no more that button you're talking about.
I don't know. So, I was getting instructions from the side because like look stupid, right? But like press people press that. I go, there's nothing. There's nothing. No nothing.
I tell you, I was thinking, how, but we were persistent and we made it happen, buddy.
Even this, like people, people have been asking me to jump on, Zoom conferences. And never like turn me on to this. I do a Ring Central with my company, but like, one of my co-workers do Zoom, but he does Zoom in the back of a green screen. So like, we doing this, and then this guy's doing like, behind tropical. I'm like, it's so easy for me. Like maybe it was in my 30s. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buy me light. I'm gonna get me a green screen, and I'm gonna light this thing up nightly. I'm gonna put like beautiful, like mermaids swimming in the background while we do the Zoom. So nobody really hear me saying anything. They're just watching, maybe, wrestlers wrestling in the background. The technology is amazing.
Shelly Cobb said she misses working with you on the radio. K-Surf.
Who's that?
Shelly Cobb.
Oh, yeah.
Like you know her. Just pretend, because you're gonna hurt her feelings if you
No, I know Shelly Cobb. I know, man. When Shelly I was working with Shelly when I first started doing radio on Kauai. It was just, what happened was maybe about 15 years ago, we started doing this way before everybody else. Like, maybe 12, not 15 is too long. But like, at that time, Kong was run by visionary radio station, and I'd gone to Maui and I had talked the owner into letting me do radio on all the islands using this at that time wave files. And this was done, you know, and this is where, like, you know, for me, not understanding Zoom is frustrating because I was like, how can this guy do radio from the comfort of his room? So I was doing morning radio on Kauai, Maui, the Big Island with my BBDs and just pressing send was the most amazing thing. This is like 12 years ago. And now, you know, we basically can do this, look at each other and do a morning radio show if we wanted to. So time has definitely, you know, it's teaching us a lot of stuff. And, you know, we look what's happening. We're getting interactive. And
Yep.
You look at this, John Bon Jovi taught music to like 200 kids using Zoom. Some crazy stuff like that. He was
That's
on.
what they're doing. I mean, a lot of the stars are coming out using Zoom and doing a lot of good things. And this is relatively new. I'm still learning, but it's a fantastic way to get more than one person on the stream. And you know, Charlie has been helping me out. It's awesome. I just read this real quick.
It's a Mel and Charlie show.
Well,
It's a discussion with Charlie and Mel.
you know, one thing this Zoom has done, because you can work in different parts of the house, you know, while you're under quarantine.
Yeah.
And so, you know, every now and then, my wife, she and I, we do Zoom, and she from this platform, I learned how to wash the clothes, wash the dishes through Zoom. So I thank you, Zoom. Yeah.
Yeah, no. Yeah, my wife is very. Did I share with you about this right here? Okay, so this is like my man cave area. You guys, did I share with you guys about this, Mel? The last time we talked. Okay.
No.
So this right here, right, is genius. The Japanese are amazing. See, this stops the cats from jumping on my couch. See that right there? Right, and you build like fences around your, it's like on. See that?
Wow.
Yeah. You can get them at like the dollar store. It comes in a pack like that. But the problem is, like, I was excited the first week. Now, every morning, if I like sit down and relax on my couch to watch my TV, I gotta stack up barbed wire, and I gotta look at my cats, and I gotta question, why are you guys here? Why are you guys controlling this house? This is my house. Why I gotta go and buy stuff like this so that I can enjoy watching Wrestling Weekly that before everybody wake up, because that way they don't criticize me to wanting, because once I'm on that bugger, nobody like no come in.
Hey, don't come near.
No come in.
Alone.
Yes.
I don't bother you when you watch your Hallmark. Don't bother me when I watching my wrestling. All right.
Hey, Augie, I like that idea.
Yeah. Augie, there's a cheaper way, the Portuguese way. You just put the damn cat outside.
Wait, hold on. We're a leash.
Yeah, leash. I mean, if I had a cat, I'd put him outside and I hope would run away. But
I have. If I showed you guys, I have Persians. So
Persian. That's like the hairy one, huh?
Yeah. They don't cause allergy, even though they're hairy. And there's two that I don't like. There's two. This is my kid, okay?
How many do you have?
We have like 5.
Nice.
But
hey, how come everybody whispering right now?
Because I don't like them here. Because no. My dad. Okay, so my mom and my dad moved into my house a couple years ago, and my dad had dementia. And up until my dad having dementia, he was like the meanest. I always tell people, get 2 types of Filipino men. There's the horny Filipino man, and there's the angry Filipino man. I had to live with the angry Filipino man for a long time. And then he had his dementia. And then things went change. All of a sudden, he became this guy like, oh my God, I love you, boy. I'm like, are you the same guy? You know who you're talking to? And what happened was, I learned more about my dad in the 5 years that he was living with me than I did growing up, right? So one day I asked my dad, Mel, where I remember having dog and cat. And then one day coming home, no more cat. Where you take the cat? And my dad said, boy, I would drop the cat off at church. Remember how you came home? What day? You going, where the dog? Where the cat? My dad used to drop off cats at the church where I got baptized. So my mom or my brothers would bring them on cat, and my dad would like them as soon as the cat pee pee, make shishi, like the bugger was gone. So I asked him, where you go? He goes, I used to drop them off. So my kids, I get two of them. I don't like. Get two, Louis and Mochi. I don't like them. They don't like me, and I don't like them. And I told my wife today, I said, one day you guys gonna come home and I'm gonna drop this cat off at the Ever Beach Church.
Like father, like son, bro. Hey, you could be worse. You could take them Chinatown.
No. But my wife was like, no can, because all the cats is chipped. They're all chipped. Oh, okay. So she goes like, they're all chipped. I go, and? Yeah, but they gonna know where the cat came from. I go, what if I tell them we gave them away when it was kitten? It's coming up in all kinds. My cat, now, that's the crazy thing. When you get all girls, they see one animal. Oh my God. Oh my God. And it's cute for a little while. I don't know you guys go through all of this. And then they forget that they think make doodoo and make shishi. And then you end up doing them. And you're going, wait a minute, I do more than just that, around here. So it's funny.
Yeah. Hey, just a Dolly DeCosta just a while ago. You guys made my day and evening awesome. You and Charlie and August. I think the auto type. Thank you very much. Augie should do a special show, and maybe a coronavirus will die laughing.
I thought about it. I called my agent and I was like, what do you think about me doing a show in front of 6 people, social distancing in a room? Like, there's 6 people, Augie. I go, when I first started doing comedy, I only had 5. And I thought about it, but then I went, I'm gonna release because I know, man, during this time, laughter is so important right now. This past Sunday, Easter Sunday, New Hope, Windward asked if I could do 5 minutes on my take on the coronavirus. And I had to do them in front of 5 people. And I forgot how that felt. Because, you're so used to being in front of one crowd. You do the punchline and you're hoping they're going to get a laugh. But try doing them in front of 5 people. You got to do them a little bit slower. So I talked about how Corona is so difficult, especially for my mom. My mom Portuguese. And you know this, Mel. My mom touch everybody. And she no more teeth, right? So when she talk, the spit fly. So I'm like, Ma, you got to wear mask. She's improvising. She getting one colander. She get colander over. How's this? I better, huh? Good. But she touch. She and then depending on where you at in the island, because I'm driving around Hawaii Kai, everybody get nice, real beautiful masks. The kind with the filter. They get design. They get they get the name brand mask. And then you go my area of the island. The desert. When letting the kids wear a kind of cup protector. Take out the cup, bro. If this you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta do it. Okay. Just take out the cup. Just think about it's gonna protect you all those, gonna protect you from one virus. Guarantee. I think the biggest thing I've learned about this pandemic is that the real pandemic is stupidity. That's all it is.
We've actually had that discussion at least once per night. We do this every night. Okay? We do this every single night.
Oh man, I gotta jump on then. You gotta give me the code.
Yeah.
If you guys on at 8 o'clock, I'm jumping.
7
Hey,
o'clock,
Augie,
bro.
Augie, I'm gonna tell you, you tell me about the cup. I love that because now when I know I'm gonna catch cracks from the wife, I'm gonna have the cup on.
Not only you gonna be protected by coronavirus, but man, when solid ball can hit your face and you'll be
Charlie, I surprised Charlie not wearing a football helmet from his wife.
you know what? I get up early. It's called The Rock Show. Pozo, Augie, and Charlie. Mel.
Yep.
Let's look. How about the car? Watch Car tonight.
We did get invited, Augie, and I don't know. This one of our viewers had invited the three of us to do a show at the Waimea Theater once this is all done. So
Who's that? Mr. Thomas Nizo?
no, it's a lady. I don't even like tell her name.
I did. That was like, I want to go right after the rain went affect the Waimea Theater. I went out there, did a show. That was probably my last show before the virus. And that had to be, honestly, one of the best shows. It felt good because I never do stand-up for a long time. And, the only time I'm doing any kind of theater shows is if I'm going to help raise money for the theater or, some program for the theater. But like, man, you talk about an amazing crowd out in Waimea. It was so good fun, Mel. I probably did one of my best shows only because, when you don't do it for a long time and you get on stage, I think I was more excited to be there than people there. Just, getting on stage and being able to talk and share and talk about, how, people are criticizing you because you like run for office. So I got like 25 minutes on just talking about that. It's good fun. So yeah, let's do it. Let's do Waimea Theater. Charlie, you ready?
I ready, my brother. Hey, you know what I like to say? You're my all-time favorite comedian. And I always wanted to ask you, how was it like working with Mel?
Oh my God. The first time I was introduced to Mel was on Kauai, believe it or not. I forgot what we were doing. We were doing a fundraiser show, and Andy Bumatai had made me his opening act. So Andy was like, "You go Kauai with me? I pay for your fare. You come, and I was like, "Yeah." So Andy brought me to Kauai, and Mel Kabang, Frank Dillim was on big fest. I forgot what was, but was at the stadium. And I went on stage and they go, "Hey, why not go up and do comedy?" So I went up and do 5 minutes. I got off on stage and Mel Kabang looked at me and said, "Boy, you're going someplace. Just be yourself." Not knowing that this guy later on in my career was going to be my mentor, somebody who I would confide in, believe it or not. The guy's super smart. A lot of people don't know that he's a trained classical musician, super smart, in here. And we would have long conversations. And I was so sad when he passed away because, one of the things that I wanted to do was because Andy and Frank did my very first campaign fundraiser. I was gonna fly him in and see if he would do it, with Andy and Frank again, one last one. And he told me he's not feeling well, and he cannot do them anymore the way he liked to do it. So, I knew he was sick, but I never know, the sick was going to lead to him passing away. And, I never got to go to his funeral because I was on the mainland, but I shared a video testimony and how, he was more than just, Mel Kabang, that Rancho Filipino guy. But in the last 5 years, we become really good friends where we'd talk about, he would come and just him and his wife would come and watch my daughter's plays. That's so really out of the ordinary, Yeah, no, I will come. I'm in town, and he would come and just do stuff like that, and he used to always hate it because he would always say, "Big boy," right? And he would always say, "Love you, Augie," and I had a hard time saying "love you" back. So like we don't say "love you" back, Augie. And then one day I did it, and he was like, and I shared this at his funeral. I was like, when I said it, I meant it, because growing up was difficult for me to be close, trust, and he gained my trust. I looked at him more than just a guy that inspired me to do comedy, but we were able to have long, meaningful talks. It's the same way with guys. It's the same way with Mel, same way with Frank De Lima, and Andy Bumatai. These guys are everyday people like you and I, and we can have like the most amazing talks. Because a lot of times, a lot of us have to go and we got to put on this show, and but these guys are like everyday guys, and I got to see that, and I got to be a part of that, and it was so surreal for me because these are the guys that I looked up to growing up, yeah, and inspired me. So Mel was somebody special, Charlie. He would call like out of the blue, how you doing, big boy? Good. you know, Half of the time was just to say, big boy, it's Uncle Mel. That was like for me was like wow, like getting calls, and so yeah, man. Last night Billy Kino asked me, who are you have to pick the top 3 local comics. That one discussion, the top 3 local comics, and I said Bumatai, De Lima, and Kabang. And people like throw in rap. The thing is, like, rap was more of an actor, and he had one troop, Booga Booga, and they paved the way, for Kanaka comedy. But those guys, those 3 guys. That's why when I got to go on tour and uh and hang out with them was for me was like, this is one story I'm gonna tell a lot of people, yeah. And we get a lot of behind the scenes stuff. The only reason why I cannot release them is because Frank no like me release them. So I'm waiting for they die so I can release them and make money.
You know, Frank has been a friend for a very, very long time. Has been a friend, and he'd probably be pissed off that I'd asked Augie before I'd asked him. But I will be calling Frank tomorrow, see if he can join us for next week. I'm thinking maybe every
Dude,
Wednesday.
wait, Mel, if you thought me and you having a hard time doing this,
Oh, that's
oh
right.
my God, you know what I'm gonna have to do? I'm gonna have
You
to
have to
go to his house.
Yes. Push
And
the
we're gonna have to
button.
I'm gonna have to show him
Yeah,
to press.
yeah. Patsy
In
said, don't
fact,
forget.
wait a minute.
But
Let's
but
have
my
that.
point was that you guys are known on the stage, funny guys, and I never got a chance to meet Mel Kabang. I went to his show. In fact, my wife and I, we was underage. Kauai Resort Hotel. They would let us in. Prom night, we was in tuxedos and gowns and everything. Don't ever go to Mel Kabang's show wearing one tuxedo and one prom gown. Don't ever do that. I promise you, do not do that. You're gonna regret it. So we had curfew, right? We had curfew. Not the. Oh my goodness.
The road famous Frank De Lima. Frank, say hi. We're doing one Zoom. That is Mel Raposo over there. You know Mel Raposo, and it's Charlie.
Oh, yeah.
We're having
Frank,
a conference call.
We are.
Yes.
Frank, I'm gonna call you tomorrow. Can you hear me?
He can.
Because you get the glare from your screen, so I
Yeah.
try to see what he looked like. There we go. Okay, there we go. That's better.
I see 2 people and you, Augie, and
Yeah.
me, right?
Yeah,
Who's the other guy?
that's Charlie.
Who's the other guy?
Yeah, just tell him he came into this bar we was playing at on Kauai at Troy's. He came in. He went up on stage with us. He was playing music. He joined us.
You're the musician.
Okay, next week. Okay, next week Wednesday. Next week Wednesday. Figure out a way to get you guys two together in the same Zoom.
Okay, so Frank, here's what we gotta do, because I just will learn how to do this. I told Mel, I know Frank would love to do it, but then I gotta show him how step by step. Each one.
We will do it. All you gotta do is push the button on the phone.
Hey, the first time me and Mel we tried to do this, right, was a mess. Two Portuguese trying to figure out how to do Instagram and FaceTime and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's good. Now we can see him.
Yeah, see that?
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, so what you like me to do?
I'm gonna show you how to do them. You gotta get in front of your computer, and then there's gonna be a couple buttons you're gonna press. Once you press the link, you're gonna be linked up to, yeah. And then, hey Mel, Frank, almost 200,000 people on this thing right now.
Yeah. About, say we said 221,000.
Yeah, 221.
We're already getting requests for Frank Sing. So next week Wednesday, we'll get him in. 7 o'clock. Tell him 7 o'clock Wednesday. Save the date.
7 o'clock. I'm gonna come by. I'm gonna set you up so that you can go one-on-one with Mel Raposo.
Well, the problem is,
Okay.
there's no camera in my laptop.
Oh my God. There's no camera in his laptop, but he can do them on his phone.
Oh, right on his phone. Right there. Perfect.
Yes. I'm gonna go download. We're gonna download that app for you,
I have the app already.
the Zoom app.
Yeah, we did it. Who did we do it with? I forget.
Bingo.
Okay, so Mel is gonna send you the link, and then next week Wednesday, just hit the link, and then boop, you come on, and you can do it. Yeah, easy.
You can send the link in email or in the Zoom.
Text. He can text you the stuff. Yeah.
And I just hit the link and then
Boom. Ta-da. Yeah. 200.
Okay, tell him check his mailbox. We're gonna send him to his mailbox.
We're
The
gonna send them to
instructions.
your mailbox. We're gonna send them to your mailbox.
downstairs.
Email box. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. I don't know if you guys can hear that. We told him we was gonna send the Zoom link to his mailbox. He thought, which one? Downstairs. The funny part is he's not joking. He's serious. All right. We're gonna have some fun on Wednesday, guys.
Oh,
We're gonna
yep.
have fun on Wednesday.
It's gonna be
Oh
awesome.
my good.
So we're gonna have you on screen, and then you see how I get like 4 guys. Gonna get me over there, Mel in the middle, Charlie on the side, and gonna have you in the middle. And we're gonna just
Yeah. We can do that.
ooh, that'd be good. Yeah, we will see.
Yeah.
Guarantee.
Not yet, Charlie. Not yet.
Let's say to get the ukulele ready already, Mel. Frank.
No, I think that's a good idea.
That is a great idea.
That's a great idea. That'll go. You know what? That'll go virus. It'll compete with the corona.
There you go.
Viral, not virus. It'll go viral.
It'll go viral.
Oh, I was wondering. That might go viral.
Okay, Frank. Okay.
God. So next week Wednesday, 7 o'clock. Tell Uncle Frank. Put him in his calendar.
Yeah.
No. He's like, no, if you gotta prepare. No, this is only we just talking.
No, this is on the fly, man. On the fly.
Yeah,
On the fly.
on the fly.
All right.
You staying safe?
I am. I stay home every day, walk around the block once,
Okay.
half hour. I dance in the morning after I do my therapy, and I dance the Japanese tanko bushi.
Gotta bring him closer to your mic.
Yeah, so he's doing bond dancing every day by himself. Yeah, in his house.
because it used the whole body, arms
Yeah.
and legs and everything. So it's a good dance.
Yeah, so he's doing band dancing by himself.
Yeah, good for you, Frank. I'm so proud of you.
Okay.
No sneeze when you eat, Simon.
I think he's the only local comedian right now making money off of the virus. I see you in all the TV commercials right now. I go, look at
That's from the health department.
that's good. That's still money. All right.
Not like the diabetes one. No.
Okay. Frank,
Next week Wednesday. Next week Wednesday.
Yeah, next week Wednesday. Next week Wednesday.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, man. God bless.
Take care.
They say God bless. Take care. Hold it.
7 o'clock in the morning or the night.
No, nighttime, Frank.
Nighttime.
Yeah.
Nighttime.
Yes. I know you're gonna sleep. I know you gotta go sleep pretty soon, but try 1 hour.
My schedule would change already. I don't like get up early because then I'll
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Frank.
Bye.
Good night.
Okay, good night.
All right. Oh my gosh. Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks, Augie.
Who else?
Okay. You gotta teach Frank.
I know.
His face no need fill up the whole phone.
Oh,
Thing no need. You
Yeah,
gotta
we're gonna
teach him. Okay.
We're gonna have to do
Every
probably
time I
gonna do a
FaceTime
trial
you.
run. Okay, we're gonna have to do a trial run maybe like at
Yeah.
6 o'clock.
yeah. No, more like three.
Yeah.
Every time I tell you, you guys are gonna get a hard time because all you see is this the whole time. Because he's rocking on his chair because he's ADHD. Every time I talk to him back, like, oh, I'm getting dizzy already, Frank. Stop already. He's like that, the whole time.
No, you know what that's from, man. It sounds like he was an ex-policeman like us, because when we give the DUI test, we say, watch the finger. We go like this all the time. Okay, you drunk.
Boy, we had many times with Frank. I mean, when he ever came to Kauai to chaperone him around, and we shared a lot of moments where that's where I was going before you brought him on the phone, was that you guys are real people. You guys are normal people. You guys got trials and tribulations. Frank has had some trials in his life, and one night we were sitting down and he shared with me his entire life, Augie, as I'm sure he did with you. And I just the respect for him had just go through the roof, because no one knows that. He
Yeah.
shares that with very few people,
Yeah.
and it just but it has defined him as what he is today. That all of that we go through defines the person that you're going to be. And Frank, you great examples of that. We're going to be winding down. People are asking, what the hell are you running for? Are you running for governor? Are you running for maybe, you know what? Maybe you should run for governor. I think you get a good chance right now.
Yeah, all seriously, okay. A lot of people are asking, maybe you can give mail. They want to know where they can donate, for campaign time. So
That's awesome. Vote for
yeah,
Augie.com. It's just vote for Augie.com.
Okay.
The number four.
Yeah. So vote for
Vote
Augie.com.
the number 4 Augie.com.
Appreciate
Com
that.
is COM.
Appreciate that. That's awesome. Thank you guys.
Yeah,
So
a
you
lot
run
of people
for
are asking right now.
City Council District, what's the number?
District 9.
District
City Council,
9.
District 9. Yeah.
And somebody was asking who you running against. I mean, not who's the incumbent. There is no incumbent. There'll be a
It's an
term
open-
limit, right?
Yeah, it's an open seat.
So it's a wide open seat. So again, people saying thanks for making them laugh. Thank you so much, Augie. I appreciate you coming
no.
on. But anyway, this was never intended to be a political commercial for Augie. But if you believe it was a political commercial for Augie, then you let Augie know that it was a political commercial, so he can pay me the advertising fees from his campaign fund. Then we all square.
That's right.
At the end of the day,
He knows all the rules. He knows all the rules.
we wanted to
And I approve this message.
we wanted to break up the week. We had a rough Monday, Tuesday, a lot of things happening every day, a lot of frustrated people on Kauai and throughout the state. We got people watching from all over the country. And by the time this thing hits, we'll probably hit 2,000 views. By tomorrow, probably be up to 4,000 views.
Wow.
And again, not bragging, it's just that we have a lot of people starving for information, and we try to do that. But we wanted to break them up a little bit tonight, get somebody like you on.
Awesome.
And I think we'll do this every Wednesday. I think we'll do a hump day humor. I think we'll call it hump day humor, and we'll get some local comedians. You can help me out, Augie, with getting
Yeah,
some.
I know, dude. I know Andy would love to jump on. So if I can get a way to get Andy on, you know, he does his daily pigeon and his daily pigeon news, which is, you know, if you go on YouTube and you hit Bumutai, he does his
Hey,
thing.
but okay, we gotta make sure now. You gotta be on when you bring on Andy, because then comedy it can be like on stereo. It can get it from all angles. You know what I mean? We need that. We need.
Hey, now more than ever, I'm telling you, man. So this is what I want to do, Mel. You have that much people watching. If they direct message me, I will give them 12 episodes of Augie TV. I filmed this 5 years ago. It was on K5. And if you want it, I will give it to you. Another way to like break the monotony. So it's 12 episodes. I'll send you the link, and then you can enjoy full. I'll call my web guy and let him know. We did it over the Thanksgiving weekend, but just for all you guys on Mel's Zoom live, if you guys want to see it, I'll open it up for the next 2 days for the rest of the week. Enjoy 12 episodes. And, you know, 5 years ago, Heineken had a campaign and they wanted to push, you know, the green bottles 5 years ago. And they wanted me to do something fun on TV. So it's a bunch of skits that I put on. If you guys want it, you guys want to laugh, 12
Hey,
episodes.
Augie, I'm just letting you know now. You got a big fan base. I got somebody was originally from Kauai, now in Panama City, Florida, watching right now.
Awesome.
So
And
let them.
my auntie Patricia Kramer, lots of family and friends in Waipahu, calling them all tomorrow and sharing this on their family group page. So
Awesome. Yeah, so I'll extend it. I'll text my guy right now. And if anybody watching this, I will give you guys the 12 episodes for free. You got direct message me so I can send you the password. I gotta say what's up to Ikaika Anderson.
Direct message me.
Okay,
my 5 episodes is not worth it. So direct message Augie on his Facebook page. He'll get you the link.
Yeah.
And I will not post that link. So if you gotta do it.
No, I'll go send it to you too. I'll text you.
Okay. No, they're gonna text me for that link. No, I like them text you for the link.
Okay,
I like
text
them
me.
direct message you. But send me the link too, because I like watch the 5 episodes.
Yeah. No, it's 12.
but everybody, you know, if you got 5 episodes plus the 12 episodes was 5 years ago. So just make sure that your TV still is the kind with the tube, not the digital. Get the tube inside. That's the one you need for watch these episodes.
Hey, I gotta see what's up to Ikaika Anderson. He's watching.
I just saw we are supporting Augie. You know who else is on here? Heidi Sunayoshi, council member Sunayoshi. Thank you for joining us, Heidi. We're gonna get you on here too, Heidi. We want to get you on
awesome
soon.
Yeah,
expect a text, Heidi.
If you guys
Thank
want,
you. Heidi's
this is not a bribe. Hey, this is not a bribe. You guys want it? It's up to you guys. I give this for free. It's 12 episodes. It's 30 minutes per show, and there's some of my favorite skits on that, and there's some stand up, but
hey brother, let me share you a comment from one of your fans here.
Okay.
Because this is regards to next week with Frank and you. This person writes, everybody gotta wear Depends for next week's show, cause guarantee you piss your pants night.
Guys, direct message Augie's Facebook page. Augie, yours is just Augie T, your Facebook page.
Yeah, you can do the Augie T or the Augie Toba. TULB. I know a lot of people have a hard time saying. I went with T for a long time because my dad used to get upset when, they say, Filipino dads get upset when you say the last name wrong. And for some reason, a lot of people had a hard time saying my last name. It's Tauba. But I get Tuluba, Tuba, so I went with T for a long time. And I tried when I turned professional for boxing, I tried to use my full name. So I don't know if everybody know what my full name is. My full name is Augusto Toba. So at that time, my boxing manager was like, "Hey, we gotta pull in uh, a Filipino guy. So use your Filipino name." And then I came in, and they looked at me and was like, "He's not even Filipino. What is, because Augusto, hard punching fighter from Kalihi, Augusto Toba." And about a second fight, the Filipinos was booing me. I go back to Augie. Man, I cannot win anywhere, But I'm gonna text my guy right now and see if we can do it for the end of the week. Can
Yeah. Thank
You
you.
guys, this is a special just for you guys that have watched this broadcast. So go to Augie T's Facebook page, direct message him, flood him. I like him get 3,000 or 4,000 requests.
That'd be awesome. I'd love
it
to.
will be.
Hey, that's the last 5 DVDs that I did, I never released, and I only because in the beginning when I first did when I did first time 16 years ago, you had guys coming up to me going, "Hey, keep doing it. It's how you make money." And I wasn't thinking about me. I was thinking about themselves. And I realized that after the turtle fought, all these guys were trying to do is just make as much money as they can off of something. And I stopped, producing because I ended up paying for everything and everybody else made money except the guy that was doing it. So, there's 5 DVDs that I haven't released, including Nali with Mel Kabang, Andy Bumatay, Frank De Lima, and Booga Booga. I have that. And eventually down the line, we'll release that. But in the meantime, 12 episodes is yours. Just direct message me.
Well, okay, thank you very much. I know we went way beyond our time, way beyond your time.
Man.
Appreciate you giving up your time tonight, bro. I mean,
Thank you, Augie.
We all needed this. I mean, I'm seeing so many text or messages about how they needed this today.
Perfect.
So thank you so much. We will definitely have you back. Looking forward to next week with Frank. That'll be fun as heck.
And keep doing what you do, man. That silent voice that we used to hear about is no longer silent. With people like yourself, man, Charlie, that have compassion and have, desire to make things right. And I think there's more and more like us, and they just need that boost and that confidence, and that's one of the number one reasons why I'm running. I'm running because I'm hoping that some young guy or some young kid will go, if he can do it, I can do it too. If these guys can do it, I can do it too. And it's everybody's kuleana. It's not just the people running government, it's everybody. And, we like throwing that around like, oh, is it my kuleana? Is it really? If it is, then you gotta get involved and you gotta have a voice and you gotta be passionate about something. If not, stop throwing that word around because, all you're doing is being a hypocrite. So if it's your kuleana, then make it your kuleana. Vote, get involved, have a heart to want to serve. If you don't want to serve office, serve your community. Now is the perfect time to share that. Ask your neighbors if they need help. If you want to get back to work, that's the only way we're going to do it. If we're consistent and we really care about each other. So let's care and let's make it our kuleana.
This is the vehicle for your voice, guys. Like I said earlier in the show, we all of the leaders, all of their people watch this. At some point, they'll watch this and they'll see the comments, they'll hear the talk, and we try to put the topics that we believe based on what we get throughout the day or throughout the week. We try to put together. Charlie and I both very active on social media. We try to get the topics that the people are questioning or need information on, and we try to plug the people in that can answer the questions. And we'll continue to do so. And it's just gonna be fun. And
Awesome.
People are engaged, man. It's a different demographic now. Social media has just changed the way we do things.
Amazing, huh?
And, we're going to get our voices heard one way or the other. This is just one of a bunch of ways.
We keep on pounding the message. You cannot help but notice it.
Mm-hmm.
As long as we're pounding for the right reasons.
Right.
We're not, this is not about self-gain, because, too many times we hear these corrections by some of the politicians nowadays that, we need to stick together because, we the people. Well, you make sure you use that word correctly, not me, myself, and I.
No.
There's too much of that,
Yeah.
So I like what you shared tonight, Augie.
Thank you.
You got my support. I'm originally from Kalihi. I'm a Kalihi boy.
Nice.
So still get family there, and stretch all the way out to Nanakule and Waianae. So and now Waimanalo. And so we'll make sure we put the word out.
Thank you. I appreciate the guys. I appreciate Mel you doing this. And again, I appreciate your endorsement. It's coming out in the next couple of days. I went out and I asked a ton of my friends, and it is when I say humbling, it is so awesome when you get guys like Uncle Sam Choi, Kim Taylor Reese, in a couple of days, Wayne Brady, Howie Mandel, guys who I've gotten the pleasure to open for. But not only that, a lot of times big time celebrities, they kind of let you do your thing and then kind of that's it, right? But like being able to make friends, because you're not just trying to make money. We all want to make money, but then man, how awesome it is to have a conversation with like Howie Mandel, and these guys are doing the same thing. They don't normally support and endorse, and they're doing it, and it's very, very humbling when they say yes. It's like when you did the same thing, Mel. It's very humbling because it tells me that I might have did something right, the last 28 years. And even if, we don't want to ever say lose, but in this situation, I win no matter what. I get to share my story. People get to hear Augie, the human side, and not just like the cartoon character you see on stage or on TV. Because the cartoon character you see on TV and on stage does it because I love doing it, and I know that it takes care of my family. And when it comes to my family, I want to do the best job I can do, because it's important for me and it's important for them. So, you know what I mean? It's humbling, when you see those things. And like I said earlier, man, I'm going into this bright-eyed, bushy tail, and more than just learn, I like being a good listener. When people ask me, what is your, what are your priorities? I go, no, I like know what you think. I like hear from you. What's important to you in your community? Not so much me. What's important to you? Because anybody can go in and make big body. Hey, this, but I like no. You know what I mean? So, I'm using this time wisely, to understand and really try to make a positive impact if given the opportunity. So, it's fun. I know we got to end.
And it'll get more fun as it gets closer to the D-Day, man. But just keep working hard. My only advice: keep working hard, getting in front of people. This COVID is kind of getting in the way, but I see you still active out there. Like I said, with Lanai, you guys the Aloha Aloha Project. What is it called?
It's called Share Aloha Challenge.
Aloha, I mean,
Or show Aloha Challenge, and then I still collecting masks for people who making, and then delivering them to the nurses union. We just did one this morning. You get everyday people sewing, making, and calling and say, "Can you go drop this off?" And I don't know. Like I said, man, I'm delivering groceries in my community. What an awesome way.
I think there's a lot of people that saw that human side of you. I think a hell of a lot more people tonight saw that they never saw before, and I think that just showcases your character, integrity, and that's what this is all about, man. Every night we close this thing And by the way, all of our episodes are on my Facebook. I mean, on my YouTube channel, Mel Raposo. So
Awesome.
if you guys just go to YouTube and just search for Mel Raposo, you'll see it. It's all there, every single one of them, from Josh Green to Senator Kochi to Congresswoman Gabbard to my rant at the governor's press conference on, I think it was March 24th. But every single guest, it's every night. And go to my YouTube channel, subscribe and hit the bell so that you get notified every time we upload a new video. Now, every night, see, Augie, I know we get people hanging on just to watch this part.
Okay.
This is like Carol Burnett pulling her ear, man. This is what people come on. I can't believe they're still on. We're going on almost 2 hours now, which is we do this an hour. But we started off by saying, Charlie, we're gonna pound it. Don't touch your face. Wash your hands. Social distancing. Stay at home. If we like flatten this curve, we have to do those things.
Absolutely.
That never worked. People was out all over doing their trip. So we came back. We got deputized by the police chief, and we said, we're going out on a COVID patrol. If you get busted by Charlie and Mel, you are going to be forced to spend the next 24 hours with us. That never worked. That never worked. So we came up with this. Every night, we close our little show.
Okay.
And Charlie, you can start the vamp now. You can start the vamp, Charlie. That's it. Not so loud.
Oh, I love it.
Every night we tell people, you guys gotta go out and help us flatten the curve. You gotta go out and social distance. Don't touch your face. Wash your hands. Stay at home. If we don't flatten the curve, we will flatten the music. Ready, Charlie?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Here you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, aloha everybody. Thank you, Augie. We love you guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. God bless you guys.
That's been the best ending ever.
People come on at 10 to 8. People come on at 10 to 8.
Gotta go to Hawaiian Salt outside your door right now.
Hey, love you guys. God bless. We'll see you guys tomorrow night. Aloha. Thanks, Augie. Thanks, Augie T, buddy.
Thank you.